So I'm here to do a PSA, a public service announcement for Detail Doctor Instant Restorer. Okay, and that's what the box looks like. Detail Doctor, restore your car to showroom new. Detail Doctor Plus Instant Restorer. So if you see this label on a product, or if you see a bottle that looks like this, be super careful. It's an extreme fire hazard. Okay, they do give a warning on the label, but I do not think the warning's satisfactory or sufficient. I think it needs to be a lot clearer. There should be warning labels on the front here. Okay, I'll explain why in a second. Okay, so Detail Doctor Instant Restorer. If you've got some of this stuff, or if you're given some of this stuff, be super careful with it. Okay. So what happened? Well, I got a bottle of this stuff for a present. Okay, some friends got it for me. And then some friends came around and tested it out on their car's plastic bumper and dashboard. My car was okay. I couldn't be bothered testing it. I didn't need to test it. I was going to do some testing on a quad bike I've got, but I didn't get around to it. But some friends came around and they thought, oh, we'll give it a test and see what it's like. Okay, and it worked really well on their bumper and their dashboard, and it worked really well. And I didn't use the product, so I didn't read the warning label because I didn't use the product. Okay, and neither did my friends. My friends didn't read the warning label either, so they didn't warn me about what the issues were. Okay, so when packing up later in the day, I just wrapped the rag around the bottle like I did with all of the things I use, you know, wrapped it around a bottle, and I put it on a laminated bench where I was doing my work. Okay, just like I do with Windex or Armour All or any of a dozen chemicals that I use. I do the same sort of thing. If I go out and do some Armour All on my car, I wrap the rag around the bottle. If I do some Windexing, I wrap the rag around a bottle so the rag's there next time I want to use it. Okay, you got the residue still there, ready to go. Okay, it's all primed, ready to go. Okay, so that's what I did with this stuff. The next morning I came downstairs and there's a horrible burned plastic chemical smell, my office was full of smoke. Not thick smoke, not thick dark smoke like a bushfire or a house fire, but just a misty sort of smoke and a horrible smell. Horrible plasticky burnt smell. And the smell lingered for months, many months after. And I left the windows and doors open because I've got security screens, so I left the windows and doors open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the smell lingered for months. In fact, even now, about a year later, if I lock up the office and leave it for a couple of hours and come in, I can still smell a burn smell. Okay, so it's still here on the bench. And there was a great big scorch mark on the laminated counter. Okay, so it burnt through the plastic into the timber, and it burnt the timber underneath the Laminex. Okay, and it was a great big crater in the bench. The bench is ruined. It's still here on my counter because it's always covered with paperwork, so it doesn't really matter really. I just keep it covered. And the rag and the bottle were hot when I separated them, so there's a horrible smell, and the rag and the bottle were really hot when I separated them, like they were going to catch fire. And I was very lucky there wasn't a fire, because if there had been more residue on the rag, I would not be here to warn you today. Okay, it was that serious. It was very close to catching fire, and I would not be here today. Okay, because I would have been overcome by the fumes of the burning, and I wouldn't have got out. Okay, even if my smoke alarm went off, I would not have got out of the house. Okay, so here's some photos. So there's the Detail Doctor there, and there's the rag I was using. It's a Chuck's wipe rag. That's what I use for Armour All and everything as well. And you can see how scorched the rag is. It's all burnt. It just all fell to bits when I picked it up. Great big chunks of rag fell off. And there's a burn in the counter. And it's burnt through the plastic Laminex, burnt into the timber, which is just chipboard or particle board, really dense particle board underneath. And or it might be Laminex. I'm not sure. It might be plywood. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's really dense timber, and it put a great big crater in that. Okay, so this area here is no longer level. There's a great big dip down into there and dip up again. Okay, so it really did put a lot of damage on my bench here, and the rag is ruined, and the bottle was really hot, but the bottle wasn't damaged at all. There's no burn marks on the bottle. The plastic's not warped. It was all around the rag and the bench. So where the residue had been sitting and contacting, obviously the bottle's not reactive. Okay, but the rag and the bench definitely were reactive. Okay, so there's a zoom in on the scorch area, and it's modeled through multiple layers of plastic and Laminex, and then into the dense wood that's underneath there on my workbench. Okay, and this is all just really fine ash that just swept up. That was all removed. Okay, but this is the damage, this part here, and the bench can't be repaired. I mean, it's got to be replaced. I haven't replaced it yet because I just keep all my paperwork on it. I've always got paperwork on my desk anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just the smell and the residue I still worry about. Am I breathing nasty chemicals in that are toxic or carcinogenic, or that's what I worry about because the smell's still there. It's only faint, only very faint, but if I lock up the office for a few hours, it becomes stronger. So the smell's still there. That does worry me. So here's a warning label. The warning label on my bottle. It's a bit damaged, as you can see. It's a bit stained and whatever. But you got to be careful. Can cause spontaneous combustion of cloths, rags, paper towels, or other materials used to supply the product, if not handled properly. Harmful to aquatic environments. Do not dispose of in waterways. So it's got linseed oil and other chemicals. Can cause spontaneous combustion. Be careful. Okay, that's extreme danger. Immediately after use, before disposal or storage, you must hand wash all materials used to apply the product thoroughly with water and detergent. Repeat washing and rinsing until you have removed all the product residue. Allow the materials to dry by laying them flat in a single layer, okay, in an airy spot, outside on a non-combustible surface, okay. So not on timber, not on paper, not on cardboard, not on wooden benches, not on tablecloths, outside on concrete. Lay them flat. Pin the corners of the rag down with little stones, and leave it outside to dry after you've thoroughly washed it with warm water and detergent. Okay. And of course, I didn't see any of this because I didn't use the product. So I didn't know about this. I only found out about it the hard way, and it almost killed me. It almost cost me my life. Okay, there was so much smell and there's so much smoke and mist in the office here, and the bench was so burnt it almost combusted. And if it had caught fire, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. That's simple as that. Okay, so don't take warning labels lightly. Make sure you read them. Wear eye and skin protection also. Avoid prolonged contact with skin. Discontinue use if allergic reaction occurs. So read all those as well. Keep out of reach of children. Children shouldn't be touching this stuff. Okay? Super dangerous. Do not let children touch it. Do not let children clean up afterwards. Do not let children touch the rags or clean up after the rags or scrunch up the rags and squeeze them in somewhere because they'll catch fire, and whatever they're around will catch fire. Okay. That's the warning label. Pretty scary stuff. So where can you buy this Detail Doctor Instant Restorer? Well, Amazon, Walmart, there's the As Seen on TV shops, eBay, there's many online stores and physical stores that sell it, and probably your auto parts stores, wherever you live, you got your own auto parts stores. In Australia, it's Repco and Super Cheap Auto and stores like that. I don't know if they sell it. I think they do. And there's also motorbike shops that might sell it as well. So you can buy this stuff in a lot of places. And so it's not rare, but you've got to be super, super careful with it. So conclusion, be super careful with any chemicals or sprays or restorers or cleaners, especially if you've not used them before, especially if you've not read the warning label and done what the warning label says. And always read the warning labels and follow what they say, and stay safe and be super careful. The ideal thing for these sort of chemicals is don't bring them inside when you've finished using them. Put them outside in a garden shed or in a shed that's away from the house where fire cannot spread to the house, or animals. Keep your animals safe as well, your horses and your chickens and things. Don't put the chemicals near them. Okay. But read the warning labels and follow the warning labels. I didn't read the label because I didn't use the chemical. And my friends used it, and maybe they said they didn't see the warning label. And fair enough too. It's only little print. But if they had seen the warning label, they didn't alert me, which is a bit of a worry. Before you use stuff, read the warning labels. Anyway, that's my public service announcement. Be very, very careful of this stuff. Detail doctor. Be very, very careful. It's very dangerous stuff. Okay. If you put the rag that you use it with somewhere, the rag can catch fire. Okay. It doesn't have to be near the bottle. Just the rag on its own can catch fire. So if you put that rag in a wheelie bin or in a bin that's got paper or cardboard in it, all that paper and cardboard can catch fire. Okay. So when you use this stuff, I don't know what to do with the rag. Maybe wash it under a hose or wash it under a tap. Get as much of the residue out of it as you can. And then spread it out on the ground so it's not all wrapped up together so it can't generate heat. And maybe after a few days it might be safe to put in a bin then. I don't know. Okay, I haven't done any testing on it. All I'm saying to you now is be super, super careful. If you've got that stuff there, be super, super careful. The rag that you use to wipe it on, be very, very careful. That rag can start a fire. Okay, stay safe. Hope that was useful. Have a nice day.